right, let me start by saying I am very excited for this conversation. I am very thankful for this opportunity. I appreciate your time in doing this.
My God.
This is actually the second time that we've been able to do this. It's been a couple years. I think back in 2016.
Was it that long ago? In Niagara?
Niagara Falls,
Yep.
Very good experience, so thank you very much.
My God.
I just want to get right to it. I want to talk about some music, talk about life, talk about whatever's on your mind right now.
Right.
Let's start out. Who and what motivates you the most? Especially in the times maybe where like you might be lacking motivation.
Right. I mean, it's a combination of things. Like, it really could depend on the day, the moment. Sometimes I get motivated by the fact that, you know, like, because my journey has been different. Some people may think it's, you know, it has a limit, you know, like there's a ceiling for me that I don't believe is there. So I can get motivated by that, you know, just trying to prove to people that I still have the potential to be everything that, you know, I set out to be from the beginning. Or it could just be times where I just want to be the dopest dad in the world. And it's just like, I'm gonna prove to myself and to my family that I can do this full time and still be a dope ass dad and be there for my kids. So it just depends on the day, man. I get motivated by different things. Could just be hearing a lot of whack ass shit on the radio. Just like, yo, there's no way this works. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it just depends on the moment.
So just the self-belief, especially when other people aren't on the same train with it?
Right. I mean, other people, I don't know if it's that as much as it is just like me knowing that that's out there. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily hear it because it's hard to explain it. Like when you're independent like I am, you have hot spots. So like I can be in an area where I have a show like an intimate crowd where it's like 100 people, but then I can go to a city and have 1,500 people. So the people who only see me doing big crowds for 1,500 people, they think I'm this huge artist. So the only times you see the opposite is when you have those cities where you're still putting in groundwork and you're still trying to build it up. Because when you're not on the radio, you know, and every city's not hearing your song every single day, you're gonna have, you know, that fluctuation in different regions. So it's kind of complicated because I can go on a run for 4 shows and feel like a superstar, and then I can go to 4 cities and it's 100 people. So it's like it's just like that roller coaster ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you a podcast guy?
Like watching them?
Yeah, listening, watching.
Yeah. I feel like probably everybody is now, man. It's kind of taking over. You know what I mean? It's a couple people I like. I can't say I'm like well versed on all of them, but like I got a couple guys that I follow. Who
you rock with?
Of course, Joe. You know what I mean? His is super poppin'. I love his. Rogan.
Yeah.
And I really like Bill Burr's podcast. He's like the funniest dude on earth to me. So, yeah.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
So, are you sponsored by Puma then? Did I see something about that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got a new shoe that I gotta promote in like 2 days. So they just sent me another package. Yeah, they just believe in it, you know? They believe in what I got going. They said I got a great smile. Think I'm a great face, so it's gonna be a lot of big things going with Puma, man. I'm excited about it.
I love to hear that. Can you like plug some of that in right now?
As far as what? Just elaborate on it?
Whatever Puma would want you to say, but more or less like I'm just like really curious like how that came about and
right.
Just like what that means.
Honestly, like I didn't do nothing like I didn't really do anything. Like they hit me up and they was like, yo, we like your image, we like your direction, we like your personality. We've been looking at your numbers, you know, it might be a little premature. You get a little bigger and, you know, we can do a deal. And then, you know, things have really been growing for me over the last 8 months. And they came back, was like, I think it's time. We want to catch you right before, you know, the explosion. And let's make it happen. And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
I've been keeping an eye on Puma like the past 2 or 3 years.
Right.
I had someone put me on and I was like,
right.
At first I was like, yo, the soccer brand? And then I started to like look into it and I'm like, yo, they're fire.
Super fire, man. And they really like hip hop and, you know, they have like a lot of third parties that go out and reach out to artists, you know, on their behalf and put these deals together, man. And I think they're really just trying to connect with the hip hop wave, because hip hop is so strong right now.
Right,
So, yeah.
Jay-Z's aligned with them pretty big, right?
Jay, Meek, you know, Nipsey was big with Puma. Puma is really like...
Kuzma just signed for big money with Puma.
Yeah, man. That's the
pretty
team
dope.
right now. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to get that Jay-Z check though, so...
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. So I've been a fan of Futuristic and Jacob Owens for a while, and so is our photographer Tommy, and he wanted me to ask you a little bit about what it's like to work with a guy like that, with whose work ethic is just like OD all the time, like what that's like and what the creative process there is all about.
You talking about Futuristic or Jacob?
Jacob.
Okay, yeah. It's insane, bro. Like, honestly, the video I dropped last week, we shot the video and I had it back and edited the next morning. Like, we shot it and the next morning he had it back to me. That's how insane he is. And then I dropped it and people was like, this is your best video ever. But if you tell somebody that he edited it in 12 hours, you be like, man, he rushed it. Like, why would he do that? Then you see the video, it's like, this dude's just a fucking genius. That's just Jacob, man. Like, he's always been that way. Me, him, and Futuristic been rocking since 2013 or 14 or something like that, man. And the relationship is still going strong.
Yeah, like he could put this into his own words too, but like for you guys, like I don't think you really understand like how unheard of that actually is.
It's insane.
Yeah, like that's like less than like a 1% of just visual arts right there. Like that stuff doesn't happen. Like how long would you say, not to like throw anyone else you ever worked with, like, but like how long would you say an average music video comes, like you do the shoot, how long do you expect it in your inbox, like done normally?
Right. I mean, fast, like really quick is like a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like sweet. Like, yo, a week, thank you so fucking much.
Right.
But Jacob is like, if it takes longer than 24 hours, you're like, bro, what's up, dog? Like,
you good?
Everything's straight.
Right?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is beyond inspirational. If anyone doesn't know who Jacob Owens is, go Google this dude. He's
the man.
He's out of control.
Underground GOAT right there, man.
100%.
Yes, sir.
So y'all have an energy drink.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's just so cool.
Thank you, man.
One.
Thank you.
That's where it starts.
Yeah, man.
I'm
about to break into this mainstream, bro. You know, I just took my time with it. Now we coming with the brands. You know, we got Puma. I got my energy drink. And this is really just the beginning. Like, I got a whole bunch of, I got a lot of great things that's about to come out and, you know, become public within the next like 3-4 months. Got some really big features that we dropping. It's like monumental. So we just want to continue with, you know, with the direction we going in. I got my team, my friends, you know what I mean? Same homies. So we just rocking, man. Yeah.
That's really awesome. So as a clothing brand, who we just released barbecue sauce, peach bourbon barbecue sauce. That shirt's actually dope. Collaborative with that.
Okay.
However, that just makes me a little bit curious on like the process and like, you know, I don't know like how hands-on you've been able to be with the creation of all of this.
Right.
But how did it come about from like a conversation to Vasi Mania being in a can and hyping you up? Like how did that process happen?
Bro, it was so many different things, man. We was actually getting aligned with a liquor, and I don't drink, so I was having a lot of conflictions with that. Just because it's like, yo, I don't even drink, and I'm gonna be out here pushing the liquor. So, you know, we kind of just settled for this right now. We got so many opportunities where it's like, not to like shit on this, but this is like a layup compared to like the things that we're about to, you know, like make public, man. So I'm just excited about the fact that I get to start here and continue to build, you know, and I was very involved in this. I was very involved in everything as far as the detail of the design and you know, the way we're gonna present it. But a lot of that is not public yet, so I can't really dig into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a process-oriented guy. So I kind of just want to dig into your process a little bit.
All right.
I don't want to box this question in either. So I just kind of want to talk about your creative process as far as writing music or anything you're doing creatively.
Nice.
How does that go? How does that start? Like, just like talk us through it, take it away. I'm curious.
Right. Well, for the last 2 years, up until probably like 3 months ago, like everything I was writing was because I felt like I had to write music. It wasn't like me feeling creative, you know what I mean? It was just like, yo, I gotta put out music.
Super routine based.
The fans,
almost,
yeah, and I just was having a lot of internal things going on where it just wasn't fun for me anymore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just got back to the point where it's feeling like fun, man, and I'm really enjoying the process again. But the problem when you do music, the way I do music, and you create it the way I create it, you kind of put yourself in a certain place to get a certain, to dig deep. So like when I'm talking about these introspective, moments in my life and this deep stuff and the pain, like I have to take myself there. Right. So to get there, you got to relive certain things that a lot of people compartmentalize and kind of, ignore. The average person will just put it in a box and never think about it. But in order for me to connect with the fans the way that I need to, I got, a lot of times I got to reach back into places that I would never reach into. So it kind of put me in a weird space, man, because I was reliving a lot of stuff I probably, wouldn't have if I wasn't an artist. And it kind of sent me into like a depression. It was like, yo, life is kind of fucked up, and like, damn, people only like me when I'm sad. And it was just crazy. You know what I mean? Because my sad songs are like the songs that people love, but it's like, y'all don't get it. Like, I'm fucking sad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds good, but it's painful. So at the same time, it was just me dealing with that.
Right, and like so much of like what you're told and what you hear in these different podcasts and anything personal development is to kind of let the past be the past, let go of that, mm-hmm. and just wake up every day and think forward and move forward. So like having that ability and having that vulnerability to open yourself back up to those moments is a big thing. Right. I hope it was helpful. Right. Getting it down and getting it out there. Right. And as fans, we all appreciate it. Right. So
I think I found a better balance, man. And it's not like I was doing it intentionally. Like a lot of the music was coming from the fact that that's the way that I was feeling. Yeah. But I continued to feel that way because I continued to write, music about my pain and my struggles. And I still do. It's still very relevant in my life. But, like, I'm just not going to do it as much because it really sent me in a dark place. And I kind of got to stay away from that. Because digging deep and some of the shit I went through, a lot of people deal with a lot of stuff, but just reliving some of that stuff was really hard for me. You know what I mean?
When you perform it on a nightly, to put in perspective, you do perform a lot of this music that we're speaking on right now. So when you're out there performing, is that more of like a feel good, like therapeutic situation for you, or are there even moments on stage where you're like, like you have that like real quick moment, like fuck, and then keep it going? Or?
Man, it's on stage when I got the room and I'm in there with a lot of people who experienced, similar things, and that's why they're in the room with me, because they can relate to me. It's a lot easier. It's like, it's 200 me's out there. So it's so easy to do it then, but when I'm at home or I'm writing by myself or I'm in the studio and it's just me, and I gotta relive some of that tragic shit, like, it makes it a lot more difficult. But to perform it is way easier, man. Like, I feel like it would feel weird if I didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's such a big part of you and your brand and everything you release. So is it like a considerably longer process to write those kind of songs versus just like talking shit and like throwing 2 verses and a couple hooks down?
It's the opposite, honestly.
Okay. So those just pour out for you. Pour out, man. It's like my song How, which
how it's so important to me because it gave me a resurgence in my career. Like, behind the scenes, things were like going really bad, you know what I mean? Mm. And I put out that song because I was really fucking sad, and then that song blew up. So it kind of gave me a second life, and now everything's going great. So that song means so much to me, but like, I don't even remember writing the song. I just remember like, all right, I got the beat. I was like, this beat is amazing. And then next thing I knew, I had the whole song written. I went to the studio the next day, it was all done. And maybe it took me 20 minutes to write the entire song.
I've actually heard a lot of different artists say that same exact thing.
Right.
Like their biggest song and like the song that means the most to them happened exactly the same way.
Man, it was crazy. I don't even remember writing it. It was that fast. It was just like, boom. And then I was sending it out and everybody's like, yo, this is incredible. And I'm like, really? It's like, no, like this is like special. And I don't even remember like anything about it, man. It just came out so easily.
I got you. So, are you more of like a regimented, like routine-based kind of guy, or is like every day you kind of just like, you know, take care of your business and do what you need to do? Like, which side do you fall on there?
I am nowhere near routine or regimented. Like, I am like the opposite of that. That's why I got Max over there, because he is routine.
Shout out Max.
Yeah, shout out Max. I'm super like, just go with the flow, free-spirited. I just can't do the same thing over and over. Like that's my brain doesn't work that way.
Doesn't resonate with you?
Yeah, like even my sets when I perform, I don't have a set. I don't have a set amount of songs or certain songs that I do every night. Every single show is improvised.
See, that's fire. I like to hear that. That's super cool, actually.
So every city's getting a different show. Like, it's all improvised. The things that I say in between my sets, none of that stuff is rehearsed. Like, it's all improvised.
I got you. So I asked that question because you're a guy who really, at least through my perspective, maxes out.
Right.
You know, like you really do maximize opportunities,
right,
and just maximize on the cards you were dealt and what you're doing. So like, I was just kind of curious, like, how that works for you. If it's like very strict and regimented, or if it's more like I'm just gonna be me, go with the flow, and do what I need to do.
I'm just an all-in guy with everything I do, so it kind of, you know, comes out, you know, on the career side too. But it's definitely not like super planned out, bro. Like, not at all. Young One is like, he's my best friend, my business partner. He's a lot more planned than me. I literally just wake up and how I'm feeling is, you know, that's what my day is gonna be like. So if I'm feeling super lit, I'm gonna go do some lit shit. But like, it's not planned ever.
Do you feel like throughout your day and throughout your life, like, conflicted at times with like the artistry and the creativeness side versus like the entrepreneur and like business side of things? Like, do you almost have to like turn one on and turn one off sort of thing, or is it like both instilled in you all the time, or is it more like you just feel more artistry? I
used to, like 2015, 16, back in those times, the music industry was totally different. So like, the way I had to work back then is totally different than the way I have to work now. So I still work hard. I work just as hard, but it's just a different kind of work. Like, there's a lot more freedom for artists now in 2019 than it was then.
How so?
How can I say this without like just sounding like an asshole? Like, it's just a lot more money now. So like, I make a lot more money than I did then.
It doesn't sound any type of way.
Yeah,
no, that's just what it is.
Right, but everyone does. So like, back like 2014, 2015, 16, like I was hustling my ass off just to break even. You know what I mean? And it's like, all of the things that I was doing then, I can do 25% of that and make the same thing. So that frees up more opportunities for business ventures, you know, for more time in the studio to be creative and stuff like that. But back then, 2015, 2016, it was just like, you know, you gotta do 200 shows, you gotta fucking put out 5, 6 mixtapes a year. It was just so much.
Which you were doing, really both of.
And I was doing it, and I was investing all of my money in other artists that I believed in. You know what I mean? Because it was my friends and people that I wanted to help out and stuff like that. When really, you know, not to say, oh, I don't have to do certain things now, but it's just like now an artist can make money earlier. So if it's my friends that I'm helping invest in, they're making money sooner, so they can help their careers go further earlier. Does that make sense?
It does.
So it's just like everything is just a lot easier now. And but with that being said, you got a lot of people getting in a rap game now that can't even rap, but they making a bunch of money because everybody's making a bunch of money. So it kind of, you know, it kind of has like its ups, like its downsides to it too. But
as someone who hates that type of music that you're talking about right now, the dudes who can't even rap, like there's still like a part of me that's so admirable that you're so trash, and you're still like have enough marketing sense and like brandability to profit.
It's amazing.
And make that's what I'm saying, to make a living off
amazing.
It's like a beautiful thing, but it's also ruined the quality of music in so much of hip hop and just
But that's not permanent though. That's what I try to explain to people. It's not permanent. These guys who are on top of the game right now, they're only on top of the game because they make what they're doing look cool. So if more guys like the guys that you probably listen to was a little more open and showed their life a little more and let the fans in a little more, that would be more relevant. It's all based on who looks like they're having the most fun. You know what I mean? And like fans, even the fans that listen to like J. Cole or even on the underground level of Mark Battles or Dizzy Wright, like those fans still have the same mindset as the other fans. Like they just pretend that they don't, but it's all the same. Like it's not about who's better, it's about who's doing better. You know, and that's what I always try to tell my friends. Like, it doesn't matter who's making the best music, it's who's doing the best. That's who's gonna get the most listeners. Because you have the artists on the top level who are great, you know, like my favorite rappers are like J. Cole and Kendrick, but I don't listen to J. Cole and think that J. Cole sounds better than Big Crit. It's just J. Cole is doing better than Big Crit, so he has more of the fan base. You know what I mean? Like they're really like on the same level as far as artistically. Or somebody like a Joey Badass or somebody like a J.I.D. J.I.D. is eventually gonna be J. Cole once he gets the marketing. So is it really a talent thing? It's not really a talent thing. It's just about who's being broadcasted the most. And that's the same thing as the guys on the other side, who's getting the radio play consistently, who are on the festivals consistently. You know, it's still the same thing, man. It's not really about the artistic, you know, viewpoint. It's really just about, yo, who do we see the most?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I have a question for you because I'm a J. Cole fan.
Yeah.
What is it about J. Cole, you think, that elevated him the way that it did? Because, like, so you're saying, like, artistically, him and Big Crit are on the same level, but J. Cole's here and Big Crit's not.
Right. Well, and so, that's just an opinion, though. I'm not saying that's...
No, I'm talking metrics.
Right.
Like, you're saying artistically, so what do you think it was for someone like J. Cole who doesn't even do features and doesn't advertise or market like that? How do you think that he got there like that? What do you think it was for him specifically? I
mean, it has a lot to do with the almighty Drake, first of all.
Cosigns?
Yeah, Drake.
I thought you were going to go that route. I was just curious.
Yeah, Drake is like, you get connected with Drake, you adding 5-10 years on your career. You know what I mean? Yeah. It has a lot to do with that. And then it has a lot to do with the fact that, like, it was just in the cards for it to happen for Cole.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a spiritual guy. I believe in things happening for a reason. And I just think that he was put in that place for a reason, you know, and it was just meant to happen for him. It's just like in the NBA, you know, you got Michael Jordan and then you got other guys who are B, C level players. They still made it to the league, but everybody can't be Jordan. So everybody can't be Cole, you know what I mean?
Thanks.
And it's and the only difference is, like, Michael Jordan may have a physical ability that is superior to other people, but certain people on that court had certain skill sets that were higher than Michael Jordan.
For sure.
As far as shooting, there were better shooters than Jordan. You see what I'm saying? There were guys that were better passers than Jordan. There were a couple guys that were better defenders. But at the end of the day, it's about who all package it up into one and can use that the best way. And that's how you get Cole. That's how you get Kendrick. You know, Cole might not be the dopest lyricist, which to me he is.
He's up there though.
But then you listen to somebody like let's say like Tech Nine. Like, Jesus Christ, who can out-rap Tech Nine? But Tech Nine's not J. Cole. See what I'm saying? It's about packaging it
great point,
into one.
Okay. Going back just a little bit, you're saying the rap game is different now than it was in 2015, and
Way
there's a lot more money out there.
Right.
X's and
freedom too.
X's and O's wise.
Right.
Where's it coming from? Where's the money?
Streaming. Because it used to be if you buy a song, once you bought it, that was it.
Yeah.
You can listen to it 1,000,000 times, but that artist is never getting paid for that again. Now, every single time you listen to a song, you paying the artist. So, like, you really think about it, like, back in the day, a one-hit wonder would make 100,000, 200,000, then they would spend all that money trying to get back in the rap game. If you a one-hit wonder in 2019, you set for life, because people are going to continue to listen to that song. So as long as you have your masters, or you got a piece of your masters, you're going to make money off of that hit 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, where back in the day, people were giving up their masters, and those hit songs might still be getting played on, you know, on the radio or whatever, but they don't own the song anyway.
Yeah.
Now record deals, like, nobody's giving up all their masters because of streaming. Like, it would be crazy to do that.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's like the truth right now is from 2014 or 15, and like that song makes me the most money out of all my songs still. But it didn't for like 2 years when it was going through the streaming transition.
Yeah.
And now I look at it like, damn, this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's so true too. Like, and just the other day, like, I was moving around on Spotify a little bit, and I threw on Tipsy, like the club mix, and I was just like looking at this dude's Spotify, and I'm like, this dude's got like 1 million listeners a month. Yeah. And it's all on one song. like, I don't know. I don't know.
Now imagine if he owned the rights to that song.
I was gonna say he probably doesn't because of
99%
the year.
Sure he doesn't.
Yeah, because of the year that was and how things were different back then. He's probably tight as fuck.
He's so mad. I talk to my homies about it all the time too. Like the guys like from like 10 years ago. I feel bad for them, the legends, because they did so many great things. Right. And like they just won't have the same benefits.
CD sales were significant at that time though.
Yeah, they were. But those guys was living off advances. So they would just get loans, and then, you know, once you spend that money, that's it. Yeah. Now it's like, it's kind of different, man. But I think this is gonna help create the space for people to be a lot more honest with their music and take more risks, because like you're not afraid of like going broke in 10 years. Like nobody that's like super big right now that owns their masters, like they're not gonna go broke anymore. Like it's just not gonna happen. So now like spend a little time in the studio, you know, and actually make some stuff that you can be proud of, and don't just make 100 radio songs because you think that's your only chance. So I think once the ice is broken, like I think you're gonna hear some of these other artists trying to be a little more creative and spend more time, you know, on the lyrics and stuff like that. I think so, man.
I hope so.
Cause I know some of these dudes, bro, and they super rich and they can't even rap. Like, just think about that. Like, imagine somebody that can't play basketball, and then they go get a $200 million contract from the NBA. Like, it's the equivalent of that. Like, I'm not gonna throw names out there, but there's literally guys who cannot rap. Yeah. And they're making $20 million a year. That's insane.
That's the beauty, though, of this type of content, is like, you have a fan base that wants to hear every fucking word of this. And like when you're like interviewing, you know, some of the different people in hip hop right now, again, that we've kind of notioned at a few times, like they don't even have like the words or the content or the value to provide to their fans like that. Maybe they can give you some marketing advice, which you should probably listen to. But at the same time, like, that's the cool part about this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, to wrap this up a little bit, as someone who gives us, you know, so much of their life and like vulnerability through your music, you know, you talk a lot about mental health and some of the struggles and things you've gone through. So if someone was listening to this right now who might be going through something real heavy themselves, what are a few things that you would say to them, just to kind of you know, right the ship a little bit and have things start moving in a better direction,
right?
More positive light.
I think it's just important to not necessarily chase like serenity or like eternal happiness. Like, I think you just gotta accept the fact that life gives you happy moments and happy memories, but everybody has ups and downs. So, you know, trying to chase like this euphoric, you know, experience that lasts forever, like, I just don't think that's realistic.
It's non-existent, yeah,
right.
100%. If
so
you're
you
chasing
just
that, you're chasing a dragon.
Right, exactly. So I think you just get, you know, find some people who understand that and who are willing to go through the ups and downs with you, but they understand that, yo, we're trying to create as many happy memories and happy moments as possible. Like, that's what's important, man, because nobody's life is perfect. I know some of the biggest celebrities that everybody's jealous of, and they want to blow their fucking brains out. You know what I mean? Like, they hate life. And I refuse to be that guy. Like, nothing's worth that. I don't care about having $300-400 million if you don't even want to wake up, you know, and look in the mirror. Like, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, you definitely have to embrace being in the trenches.
Right.
And embrace the down just as much as the up.
Right.
Absolutely. Happiness definitely does not exist.
Yeah, it's a fire interview, bro. People don't like this one. I don't do interviews, man. I don't. But y'all my guys, man.
That's real shit.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you probably are watching this because you're a fan of Mark. So if that's the case, check out Wolfpack Clothing. If by the off chance that we sent you here, check out my guy Mark Battles. He's one of the realest out there.
Thank you.
So much love and appreciation for opportunities like this.
Absolutely.
I absolutely crushed the show tonight in Buffalo. It was a pleasure to be at. Just thank you so much. Thank you to the whole Vasi family for having us. And we're on this tour bus right now. It's a beautiful sight. It's a beautiful place to be. So much love. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Take care.
My guy.
My real ones, and shout out to my ex cause she feel dumb. Shitting on a bin up next, no flex in the late night text, shit still come. I'm just giving thanks like a pilgrim. They don't bang, Vasi Gang, I don't feel them. I'ma go from a penny to a million.
Nice.
My real ones, and shout out to my ex cause she feel dumb. Shitting on a bin up next, no flex in the late night text, shit still come. I'm just giving thanks like a pilgrim. They don't bang, Vasi Gang, I don't feel them. I'ma go from a penny to a million.